Hello, everybody. Today is Wednesday, October 22nd, 2025, and Dad is ready to talk about some of his stories in his lifetime. We're going to do something different. I had a friend from Facebook Friends who lives in Ireland, and I hope I don't butcher the city too bad. Donegal, if I did, call and send me a voice text and correct me. Call and ask you this question, Dad. How has the world changed dramatically over your life or from days in the past when you were younger until now? What drastic changes have you noticed from growing up when you were until now over your life?
Well, I've noticed that politics is really different, and people in general don't trust one another. It seems like it just it's root hog or die, and everybody's trying to make a living. But there's so many people that done got to where that uh, they'd rather mooch off of somebody else instead of getting out there and trying to make a living for themselves. Because people, you know, 50, 60 years ago, they were just trying to make enough to, sometimes there just wasn't jobs out there, but they were just trying to make enough to make a living. And of course, back then in the 30s, I know I was born in 36, 1936, and it was pretty hard. It was pretty hard to make a living back then. There just wasn't no jobs around hardly, but they seemed to make it. There wasn't no thieving and shooting and killing, and it's just the way that you see things going on today in some of these big cities. That way the people act, they don't have no sense of responsibility whatsoever to nobody, and it's just a different world that we live in, and I know I'm retired and in a self-sufficient home. It's a apartment complex. Actually, it's what it is, and I don't have no taxes. I don't have no grocery bill except what I want to buy, other than what I can't get at the cafeteria down here. But it's just a different world in that sense to me than what it was when I was growing up. Of course, I began to know when I was growing up and get big enough to remember things. And I guess I must have been about I don't know, 3 or 4 or 5 or something before I began to recall things that went on in my life. And and I didn't worry about going out uh, in the yard, and because we lived 5 miles out of town in the country, and I didn't worry about somebody knocking me in the head or something like that, because everybody knew everybody, and 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 if some stranger come around, my dad, if it was out there close to our house or something or other, if he knew he was somebody monkeying around, he'd go find out what he wanted, because it's kind of because he worked for the Corps of Engineers, and he uh, did some lock tending works at times. He'd lock logs through and lock boats through back and forth from the high side to the low side. But if he seen somebody that he didn't know, he would be on watch for him to see where he would be going to. And sometimes they'd be there was 2 or 3 other houses up there at what they call a locking down, and everybody knew where it was. And that's where he made his living from. And but people were just completely different. And of course, there's so many, I guess we call uneducated people, just like my mom and dad. One of them got to the 5th grade and one got to the 8th grade, and I don't remember which one got, whether my dad got to the 8th grade or my mom got to the 8th grade.
But they were still able to work,
Oh yes,
survive, raise
yes. They
5
found,
kids. I mean, Grandma even started a business, a restaurant.
well, once she got through raising her kids,
Right.
see, she went to work for a dry goods store called Schonberger's in Mark Tree there. And then after she had been working there for a while, she started her own business, a cafe, kind of on the east end of town. But they was, if people wanted to work, they could find a job or go by and see somebody if they needed some wood cut or something another, or clean up the yard or something another. But I never did have over a nickel or a dime or something like that in my pocket. I just never did have. I never did have a quarter. It just was unusual.
Were you not worried about money, or what do you think was going on?
Nobody had any money.
Okay.
And like I say, my dad had a good job, but still yet it wasn't enough to have, any luxury or anything like that. The best thing I can remember is at the theater, it would cost either a dime or 12 cents to get in for a kid's rate. And at a certain rate, you didn't have to pay anything.
Right.
But I know there was a little hamburger, I call it a joint. It wasn't a joint. It was a man's business. He had a little hole in the wall right by the theater, but that's the way he made his money, was selling hamburgers and fries. But he had some of the best hamburgers, man, you ever eat in your life.
So people survived on little to nothing.
Little to nothing, right.
And the things we hear about, people didn't lock their doors. Is that real?
That's real. That's real.
Didn't
We
have to
never
worry
did lock
about,
our doors when we left to go to town and coming back.
like, I got double locks on my doors
I know it.
and they're locked.
Well, you see movies sometimes, and if a woman's in there by herself, she'll have five or six different locks. She's really got them. It'd take them a while to beat the door down.
Well, something after I read Colin's question, and I really haven't thought about it. I just wrote it down because we haven't been together. I hadn't thought about it, but I didn't forget about you, Colin. And what do you think about technology? I mean, do you remember your family's first TV, when you got a TV in the house?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
So you got a recollection of that?
Oh yeah.
Was what was on TV back then? I mean, I mean, how old were you approximately? Were you a little kid, teenager, or?
I was probably, I guess, at one time it was 5 of us, and we just stair-stepped down, and we got a picture somewhere around here. That's that I think I've got that picture.
Yeah.
So I've seen it in an album or something, but I just think about what it cost us. Like I say, 12 cents to get into the movie, and maybe 10 or 15 cents for a hamburger at the most, seemed like back then. And it didn't take a quarter
Around a quarter,
to
you had a
to
fun time.
to have a pretty good time. Well, you could eat probably twice off of it. It's what you could do. But there was other places there in Mark Tree besides Doc's him. I think his name was Doc. I can't remember his last name. Bridger, I think. He had two sons. I know I played basketball with, and I'm trying to think of his first name. But there was other restaurants there. Had a drugstore, had two drugstores, and had a jewelry shop because the boy that one of the best basketball players and was the biggest was J.A. Price's jewelry, but he was a good basketball player, 6'4", and we had some boys on there like Jim Price, 6'4", and Sonny Worthy, he was about 6'2", but he was a good basketball. He's tall and skinny and arms full, just his all arms looked like to me. But he didn't take much more height. But the jumpingest guy that I know of was a preacher's son named Jimmy Connor. And he was about 6'1". And man, he could play up around that rim all the time. I mean, he was built, was stocky built, but he was 6'1's all he was. But he could really jump. And I'd do all I could do is touch the top of the rim, and that was it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it just, but anyway, things were just cheaper, and I didn't worry about going outside and or going up down the streets after dark. It just didn't bother me. And you never heard of anything happening.
Well,
people just didn't do things what they did now.
Other than television, of course, before TV was radio, but do you recall at all any kind of major technological advances? Mine would have been the computer.
Yeah.
When it hit.
It's kind of what y'all grew up with. Was
right.
Computer coming into being.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean.
Well, it was a good thing. I mean, it was just one of those things that was happening at the time.
Or was there, other than TV and radio, do you have any recollection of any big? I mean, I guess there were launch of the rockets and satellites and stuff. But going back to TV, you were saying something about the kids to watch it literally had to be tallest to smallest, I guess, to sit down and watch the TV when y'all were watching TV.
Well, really, the first TV we had was a console.
Big floor thing?
It was a big floor thing, it had a radio and record player in it, and a tube over to the side where you could see it. But the picture on it seemed like it was about 8 by 8 or something like that. They wasn't very big. And
wow.
But that was progress to us. And we lived out in the country, and everybody in that area would come, and because we was the only one that had the TV.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and they knew we had a TV, and they said, "Can we come and see it?" Well, we invited anybody that wanted to come over and visit and watch our TV. But I'm trying to think of.
Did they have like fights, boxing, or what
yeah,
was the main thing? The big sports thing, or programs? Or
the big thing I think was wrestling, and I never will forget there was a wrestler named Lou Thez.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he was a guy, I guess, about 6'1" or 2", but he was just all man,
Mm-hmm.
But he was a wrestling champion, and I don't know whether or not he ever wrestled very much, but he did in Memphis, and we could pick up Memphis. And anytime that he wrestled over there, he pretty well was on TV.
Right. Back
But
then it was regional areas.
yeah,
Yeah.
but
When was that? Saturday nights or Friday nights?
that was always on a Friday or Saturday. Usually it's when the wrestling came on.
How many people would cram into your house to come watch?
Oh,
Quite a few.
it varied, is what it did.
Back then, did
But
people think it was real?
they were, yeah, that's true.
They actually thought it was like boxing, and they were
Yeah, if it's
instead of a
boxing,
pre-planned, predetermined outcome. I mean, they're physical. Even today, you got to be physical to do what they're doing because you're tearing up your body. But them
well,
guys, if they got a hold of you in real life back then, or even today, would crush your hand if they shook your hand. If they
oh
wanted to.
yeah.
But
Well,
what do you think? 20 people fit in your house all at once, and
well,
with 7 others already there.
our living room was probably not as big as this was,
Right.
because it was a shotgun house and it had four rooms. So my dad built another bedroom on it, and but we just pack them in there. It didn't matter who came. If they came to watch TV,
Right.
that's what they. I mean, they didn't think nothing about coming over, and because we go to their house. Mostly people came to our house, so.
Did they did you have a night where they just came and watch TV, or did they have a meal? Did you everybody bring food and have like potluck?
Oh
Or
yeah, they do usually they'd bring food sometimes. Wasn't all the time because my mom was always
something,
cooking
something.
something. Yeah, she was cooking something up all the time. And I guess while I'm on the subject, the best food that I think she ever fixed was white beans and a chocolate cake. Now I can make my day out on that now, just about it. White beans, but because most people have the brown beans, like brown beans, and I understand now. I just found out that black beans are one of the best beans because Carrie, our oldest daughter, she got some black beans. She says the dad, they're the best bean that ever was. And
Is that the first time you've ever tried them?
Well, that's the first time she'd ever eaten them.
Oh, okay.
But and I've never eaten a black bean.
She brings some to you?
No. But
she's holding it out on you, huh?
She was telling me about them. That's what she's doing.
She's gonna keep them for herself.
But I'm glad she did, because I said, well, I'm gonna have to try some of them.
Well, maybe they got them down there, in the dining hall there at the cafeteria, and
They may have.
you'll be able to ask them. They make everything else there for you.
I think they have had some black beans in there, and I just looked at them and I said, they can't be no good.
You're a white bean man.
Yeah, always have been and probably always will be.
Well, I guess Grandma put ham, or a big ham bone, or a piece of ham. And
there wasn't nothing no better than put all them white beans in there and put a ham hock in it.
Yeah.
And
explain what a ham hock is.
Ham hock is what meat is left on a ham hock. Is the only thing I can tell you.
That's the
not
bone.
Much, but it's the bone.
Yeah.
Just about it.
Right.
Yeah. But you can still get a little bit of meat off around that hock in there is what you can do.
Well, it adds flavor to the beans. That's what it's for.
That's what it's for, yeah.
For people that don't have a clue about what's even being said right here, Colin, maybe you in Ireland may not know what's going on, but maybe you do. Send me another question and we'll ask it next week.
I bet he knows what a ham hock is. I bet he does. He's probably... I know those women have found out what the people in Arkansas and the United States, what they grow and eat, just about it.
Well, we got plenty of time to. We have we we went right to Colin's question because if anybody ever wants to send a question, that's kind of a neat thing to do. And some of you have intelligent questions, unlike myself, because I'm not doing anything other than just asking things off the hip. But I did write down the last time Dad was telling us about chasing a boy from Mom's house, and he couldn't catch him because his truck was bigger, more powerful, and he did give it a good try, but the guy outran him. And his name uh, was it actually after we began to talk about it? I wrote this down. I can't remember if you said it or I made it up. Wade Rogers.
Wade Rogers. Yeah.
Okay, so that's who you're thinking of another guy, and at the time, so that guy's actual name was Wade Rogers, the one you chased from Mom's house, which I consider that just hilarious. Um, do you remember? Uh, did y'all go to? I hit my mic. Did y'all go to school dances or anything like that? You and Mom?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
What did y'all have like for football? Like what spring dances or?
Well, there was two places that you could dance there in Montreat, and one of them was down at the Legion Hut,
Oh, okay.
which was kind of behind Guy Prince's Furniture down that way, I believe is where the Legion Hut was. And then another place was over across the track around the beer joint. It was over there.
Right.
Of course, I think that's where I met your mama and danced with her over there because it was a respectable place, and that's where the kids would congregate, especially on a Saturday.
What kind of dancing did you do? I mean, was it hand to hand or did you
It was just
chest to chest? And
yeah.
I can't dance, everybody.
Well, I can't
Just let
even,
everybody know this white boy cannot dance.
oh,
Will not see me doing it or
if
stepping on
if a
somebody.
right girl got a hold of you, you could
I've been
dance.
told that so many times.
Okay.
And
Well,
I want to go left to right laterally. I don't understand anything else.
well, you do a two-step,
Yeah,
then
that's
you
where,
go back one,
and I get confused.
then you kind of go, well, it is confusing when you first start.
Oh, I tried
But it's
several
like
times.
anything else, Mark. You just got to get it. What it is, you're afraid of it, is what it is.
Oh yeah.
And you need to get sometimes. I've heard of mamas helping their kid learn how to dance,
Yeah.
and that's
Before
one.
they went to their first dance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I was kind of in a hurry to dance with her because I just fell in love with her before I ever got over there.
Well, did y'all have like a favorite song or your song or something?
Oh yeah, Stranger in Paradise.
Stranger in
name.
Paradise.
Yeah, it's the name of our song.
Do you recall who sang it or a band or whatever they were? Probably just an individual, wouldn't
Oh
it be?
yeah, it was individuals that sang it.
It would have been
Tony
by
Bennett.
Tony Bennett.
Tony Bennett. He's
93 years old at least. And I think he's still alive. If not, he's recently passed.
Is that right?
Yeah, because he was singing at the beginning of the year at something. He may have been lip syncing, I don't know. But yeah, Tony Bennett.
I've got the old record that's so big,
Yeah, big thick ones.
Yeah, I've got it over. I don't know what number it is, whether it's a 78 or. It's a big record though.
Yeah, the biggest one.
But it's got that song on it, and that's what I wanted. I'd always wanted one, and of course we owned an antique store, for 12, 15 years, whatever it was. We
21.
had it 21 years.
Yeah, 21 years.
Okay,
You did books for her.
I didn't.
After you retired from your job, then you went to work for Mom.
Well, I was glad of that because I was a bookkeeper and the maintenance man is what I was. but it all worked out. We made a good living there
Yeah.
because she was a good salesperson. She'd sell somebody that getting ready to walk out of the store sometime. Just, what can I help you with? Did you find what you wanted or whatever?
Yeah, she was really good with her and Dorinda, the lady that worked for
Oh
her, in
yeah,
decorating, and people would come in there. I know a guy that came in there twice a year. Once for his mom's birthday. He's a little bit older than me, and once for I think it may have been Mother's Day. But he'd come in there and have them make an arrangement of how they used to
oh
do.
yeah, yeah,
You just walk in there and tell them, I need this, and I'll be back after work to get it.
yeah,
Mom would do it for him, and he did it for years.
yeah.
But we're about to close. I want to thank everybody for coming back to watch again. Make sure you like the video, share it with other people, especially our family members. And if you would subscribe, because in the end, it's just going to keep the stories going because they are endless. And feel free to ask Dad a question, make some comments. Till next time, everybody, we'll see you then.
The man in Ireland. We'll wave goodbye to you.
You got it.
Oh, you done cut him off?
Not yet.
Okay.
See y'all. Bye bye.
Bye bye.